Hello students, and welcome to your e-learning lesson on linear functions and graphs part 2. So what are we going to cover for today's lesson? By the end of this lesson, you should know what is the gradient of a straight line and how to calculate the gradient of a straight line from a graph. Let's start with a simple recap on how to find the coordinates of a given point. First, we read the value along the x-axis to obtain the x-coordinate of the point. Then we read the value along the y-axis to obtain the y-coordinate of the point. And lastly, we write down the coordinates as an ordered pair in the form of x, y in brackets. So what is gradient? Gradient is a measure of the steepness of a straight line. Compare lines A and B. Which line is steeper? Simply by observation, we can see that line A is steeper than line B. However, there are some cases in which simply by observation alone, we cannot conclude which line would be steeper, which is why we need the concept of gradient to help us. So what does a gradient of a straight line tell us? Firstly, the gradient of a straight line can be positive for upward sloping straight lines or negative for downward sloping straight lines. Secondly, as the absolute value of the gradient increases, the steepness of the line also increases. So how do we calculate the gradient of a straight line? We simply take the vertical change or the rise and divide it by the horizontal change or the run, where this change refers to the change in the number of units between any 2 points on the line. The steps to take to calculate the gradient of a straight line are as follows. Firstly, choose any 2 points, say A and B on a line. 2. Obtain the coordinates of A and B. 3. Form a right-angled triangle with AB as a hypotenuse. And 4. Reading from left to right, find the horizontal and vertical change from A to B in terms of the number of units. Now let's demonstrate with a work example. The vertical change is 2 because there's a change of 2 units along the y-axis from A to B, whereas the horizontal change is 1 because there's a change of 1 unit along the x-axis from A to B. Hence, the gradient is 2. Now practice the following questions from your textbook and check your answers against the solutions at the back. In summary, the gradient of a straight line allows us to measure its steepness. It is positive if it is upward sloping from the left to right, or negative if it is downward sloping from the left to right. As the absolute value of the gradient increases, the steepness of the line also increases. In order to calculate the gradient of a straight line, we take the vertical change or the rise and divide it by the horizontal change or the run. And this change refers to the change in the number of units between the 2 points, and we always read from left to right. We have come to the end of this e-learning package. I look forward to seeing all of you back in class and have an awesome weekend ahead.